Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing very well. Students, in today's class, with these four topics, we are going to complete the first chapter of history, that is the medieval period. And these four topics are the historian's problems, new social and political groups, interaction with foreigners, and old and new religions. This is a picture of a scribe. The work of scribes involved copying manuscripts and other texts, taking dictation, keeping records of business and administration, etc. As there was no printing press in medieval India, all Indian paper documents of the time were manuscripts. Often scribes made copies of the original documents. While doing this, he sometimes copied wrong. Some scribes also put in their own language or their own thoughts on the subject. All this gradually changed the original text. Historians have to gather information from these changed documents if they cannot find original documents. Another problem for the historian is that the languages used in these old documents have changed over time. For example, Brahmi script, which is no longer in use. Historians, they have to face another great challenge when they find documents and there the spellings, the meanings of a particular term, the grammar, all being changed over the long period of time. Here we are going to discuss about the term called mleccha. This is a Sanskrit word. And do you know, students, this word during the ancient India, it was used for all non-Aryan people, like for the forest dwellers, for the hill dwellers, for them. And the same word was used during the early medieval period for the foreigners, like for the Greek people, for the Kushanas. They were being referred as mleccha during the early medieval time. Gradually, the term mleccha applied to those who did not follow the caste rules. Another interesting example is the term Hindustan. The term Hindustan represented different territories at different times. This is Indus plain, and maximum part of this plain now it is in present Pakistan. Do you know, students? The southern part of this Indus plain was known as Hindustan around 3rd century. The Sassanians of Persia, they were the ruler of this region and they used to call this southern part of Indus plain as Hindustan. During early medieval period, the land between Indus plain and Ganga Yamuna Doab. This region was known as Hindustan. And during the period, almost the whole India except the extreme south was known as Hindustan. Students, I hope you can understand that what kind of problems the historian has to face while reconstructing the past. And to overcome this problem, he has to find out new sources, he has to analyze in greater depth. Today, the country India as we know it is called Hindustan. Alright, the next topic is new social and political groups. During the medieval period, many new social groups emerged. Some of this group also became politically very powerful. Among them, Rajputs, who were they were the warriors from Rajasthan, became very prominent and played a major role in the medieval Indian politics. Next social group is Sikh social group. They were basically the religious group, but they played a major role in the medieval Indian politics. Jats from Haryana, they were basically farmers. They also played important role in the Indian politics. Ahoms from Assam, Marathas, they were also basically warriors, played a very important role in medieval Indian politics, and they were from Maharashtra. The growth of new professions gave rise to a large number of subcastes, each called a jati. A jati consisted of people who were in the same profession. Prominent among the jatis that emerged during the medieval period were the kayasthas or the subcaste of scribes. Do you know, students? Usually a person's surname typically reflects a jati. Thus, Gandhi means perfume seller, Srivastava means military scribe. Interaction with the foreigners is our next topic. Many foreign traders settled in the prosperous cities which grew along India's long coastline and northwestern border. These foreign traders brought not only with them their own religious beliefs, social customs, crafts, technologies, but also fruits and vegetables. For example, Portuguese traders brought with them chilies, potatoes, tomatoes, and India was introduced with these vegetables, which are very common now, but actually this brought to us by the Portuguese traders. Next, the Turks. They brought to India fruits like plums, peaches, apricots, melons, oranges, and so on and so forth. Chinese introduced us with the sericulture technique and also the lychees. The last topic of this lesson is old and new religions. Students, I hope you remember in class 6 we have read that the Vedic people they used to worship the forces of nature such as the Prithvi, Agni, Indra, Surya. But during medieval period you will see that building temples became an important activity among the Hindu rulers. The deities worshipped in these temples often represented the qualities that an ideal ruler was expected to have. These rulers patronized learned Brahmins and granted them tax free land. Thus, many Brahmins became wealthy and powerful. Islam, the religion of the Muslims, and this religion arose in Arabia in the 87th century. Islam is centered on the belief in one God, that is Allah. Do you know, students? It was trade, not the invasion, which brought Islam to India. The Arab traders brought with them this religion. Later, Muslim conquerors established kingdoms in India. They ruled India according to the Islamic law. Alright, students, I hope you have understood today's lesson. Thank you so much.